The fluorescent lights hummed in my lab at 3 a.m. as I stared at yet another anomalous brain scan. 20 years studying the somatosensory cortex hadn't prepared me for what I was seeing. Patient number 347's neural activity patterns were wrong. I rubbed my tired eyes, double-checking the fMRI calibration. The sensory homunculus, that distorted map of how our brain sees our body, was showing unprecedented activity. Where there should have been stable topographical organization, I saw shifting patterns that defied explanation.
Dr. Chen.
My research assistant, Mike, appeared at the door.
I finished processing the morning scans. You need to see this.
The data showed identical anomalies across multiple patients. Their cortical maps were evolving, changing in ways that violated everything we knew about neural plasticity. In the three-dimensional renderings, the oversized hands and lips of the classic homunculus model seemed to pulse with independent life. Within weeks, the reports started coming in. Patient number 347 claimed her hands moved without her permission. 352 said his face felt like it belonged to someone else. 361 described seeing a twisted version of himself in mirrors, but only in his peripheral vision. I documented everything meticulously, trying to maintain scientific detachment even as dread crept up my spine. Then I felt it myself, a subtle tingling in my right hand as I typed my notes. When I looked down, my fingers were typing words I hadn't intended. The breakthrough came during a late-night analysis session. I was comparing temporal sequences of neural activity when I noticed something impossible. The homuncular regions weren't just representing body parts. They were windows into something else, a dimension where our brain's distorted self-image had gained consciousness. My hands shake as I write this final report. The entities are learning, using our mapping procedures to strengthen their connection to our reality. Each brain scan gives them another portal. Each study participant becomes another potential host. I feel mine now, pushing against the boundaries of my consciousness. The creature that thinks it owns these hands is getting stronger. When I look in the mirror, I see its true form superimposed over my reflection, a grotesque thing with massive, grasping hands and a mouth that opens too wide. To whoever finds these notes, the homunculus is not just a map anymore. We opened windows that should have stayed closed. The entities are coming through, reshaping our bodies to match their twisted forms. I can feel my own transformation beginning. The writing becomes increasingly erratic. My fingers are changing as I type this. The entity believes they should be larger, longer. It thinks my face should match the distorted proportions of the sensory map. I'm losing control of my movements. Need to warn others. Stop the mapping procedures. Close the windows before... The text ends in a violent scrawl across the page.